Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove. Timber Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
And there's another one. It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. He's the point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
School's out, travel ball is in. Live from the ballpark at Hudson, this is the 2026 Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Two great games to kick off our summer baseball coverage this afternoon, both featuring Release Baseball. In game number 1, they take on Ohio Santoro, and in game number 2, they take on the Midwest Stars. Hello, friends. Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning, live from Hudson, Ohio. It's sunny out right now. It is hot out right now. It is going to pour later. It was very wet when I got here this morning at around 7 a.m. It is humid, But as of right now, it looks like we will have at least one complete game of pristine summer baseball. It's not too brutal. We're in the 70s right now on the turf, around 80 to 90, just depending on where you are. And of course, if you're in the outfield, you have the natural grass, so that is going to help keep it a little bit cooler. But this is Ohio. Weather can always flip at a moment's notice. We're going to have the breeze, which we have right now. The question is, how do these guys go about playing in a game like this? It is not easy going from summer ball back to high school and vice versa. I would say going from high school ball to summer ball is the more difficult adjustment. You know where you are, you know what you're batting, and you know exactly what is going to happen most times in high school ball. In travel ball, you get to the ballpark, you do a coin flip like we did today, and you find out whether you are pitching or hitting first. It's tough. The leadoff guy has to be just as prepared as both starting pitchers. In this case, Release will be the away team. Premier will be the home team in game number 1 today. And this lineup has already been through a jigsaw puzzle and a half. Their starting center fielder out today. We believe he is on a mission trip. Their starting shortstop, Cole Twardakis, inactive. We believe he is still asleep. Now, there's a chance he shows up later, and if in the ground rules, he can play in game 1. He comes in maybe as a sub. If not, we'll see him potentially in game number 2. But right now, it is 9:04 a.m. The first pitch of the day is a ball, and summer baseball is underway for both Premier and Release. Of course, some teams were able to play some tournaments last weekend, but given the multitude of guys who made it to the regional tournament on both rosters, both groups opted to start their season here in the Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament. 2-0 count to begin things here on the new leadoff hitter for Release in Dylan Popyshak. As well on the mound today for Premier, it is going to be a now graduated invader of Normandy, Evan Lucas. A 3.18 ERA on the season for Normandy. A really good campaign for them, all things considered, as that one is fouled off. This was a team who had some struggles, had some coaching turnover. 14-12 record. They competed against maybe the shock of the season Shaker in the district championship game, in the end losing to the Raiders in a really close contest, only losing 5-3 to Shaker, who turned around to beat, at the time, undefeated Lakewood. It's really impressive what Normandy has been able to do this season. They competed as well against a really good Riverside team, able to beat them, and only lost by 1 to Amherst Steel, one of the 2 Northeast Ohio favorites, so to speak, to potentially win a state title, along with another team in their division, the Walsh Jesuit Warriors. Count 2-1 on Dylan Popyshak. And he will take strike 2 on the outer edge. In the on-deck circle, staying in the same spot in the order, it is Braden Harrison, the second baseman for Release. It's Deuces on the leadoff hitter, and now center fielder for Release. Lucas, the 2-2. Sharp grounder off towards center field and through. It's a leadoff base knock for Dylan Popyshak. An excellent swing on the 2-2 pitch. Stayed short with the swing, drove it right up the middle, and Release's offense has a strong start to afternoon. Morning. Feels like afternoon. But either way, they get their first base runner of the day. And in the inconsistencies and in the ornate, they have been able to stay consistent. Just perfectly up the middle. That's the swing you want to see out of your leadoff hitter. Now in a spot that he could potentially take a base or two. And immediately he gets in a rundown. So forget about taking a base. He just needs to stay alive here. Excellent job for Premier so far, and they will not get the out at 1. A close play. Everybody did their job. They tracked him the right way. But Popyshak maybe gets away with one, scampering back to the bag, and he will stay put with the BW commit Antonio Escano now holding him on. From a big positive to potentially a really big negative early on. That is not what you want to see after an excellent battle at the plates. And now Harrison will get to work against Lucas as he takes strike 1. Some early anxiety here at the ballpark. But for the second baseman, Braden Harrison, wearing number 36 today, just finished up his junior campaign over at North Ridgeville. And he is quickly down in the count 0-2. But a solid campaign for the Rangers, all things considered. A 12-11 record. Harrison, first team SWC and first team county honors when it's all said and done. And he will put this one off towards the left side of the infield. Here's the throw from third, and it is in time. A nice throw from Fries across the diamond to Escano for out number 1. But that'll put Popyshak in scoring position for Campeche. Those are the ground outs you have to take right now in this game. It is not going to be an easy day at the ballpark for this Premier defense. They had a chance to get the early base runner out of the game like that. Couldn't capitalize, and now they have to go and play the heart of the order here with a runner in scoring position in the first. That block behind the plate will definitely help, but they need to keep this defensive rhythm going. Force a pop-up, a shallow pop-up. You don't want anything that Poppy Shot can really take off on, as we've seen his aggression already. The 1-0 will connect. Count now 1-1. Cam Pesh, the third baseman, one of two Bulldogs of Olmsted Falls in the lineup today, coming off of a .362 season at the plate in the SWC. Lucas takes a second, keeping a close eye on Poppy Shock. Once again, you have to keep close tabs on him as he really overplayed his hand from the get-go. Lucas is 1-1, swing and a miss on the high heat. You have to keep your head down and you have to keep a level swing. Now is not the time to chase. After Pesha goes to maybe the most decorated player on this roster in Bobby Berglund, a runner-up last year at the University School in the Division III tournament. The 1-2 will miss. Back to deuces we go now on the three-hitter. Runner at second, one down in the top of the first inning. As well, this is the only game in the 9 a.m. time slot for the 18U division of the Diamond League tournament. Lucas's 2-2 is there for strike three looking. A massive second out for Premier's defense. First strikeout of the day for Evan Lucas. You could really tell, playing against so many good teams in his conference, he has become battle-tested, and that is a big punch-out, combining his high school efforts, number 31 of 2026. And with two down, that'll bring up Bobby Berglund, the aforementioned catcher. You talk about that University School team from last season. Of course, you talk about the Auburn commit, Deacon Nelson, especially given that Auburn is still playing for a chance to make it to the College World Series. But Bobby Berglund behind the plate has been a standout for them, too. The 1-0 will connect at the top of the zone, evening things up. But for Berglund, first team All-NEO BCA and had the walk-off winner of the district championship game against Canfield. The 1-1, good rip up the middle, picked up at short, and it's going to get through. That'll put runners at the corners, a nice infield base knock for Bobby Berglund. And here comes Matt McKee, the now shortstop. The interesting thing about McKee going to short is that is not really where he plays during the high school season for St. Ignatius. But the BW commit, when asked, stepped up, was supposed to play in the outfield today, but due to all the moving pieces, has to play at short. And we'll see how he fares here with runners at the corners and two away. Premier's defense one out away from getting out of this early jam. At the same time, Release one swing away from getting their first run of the 2026 season. 1-0 count here on McKee. Runner from first will break, and it's an easy strike, and on top of it, an easy bag for Berglund. You don't throw there. This Release team is too creative on the bases. Again, Poppy Shock a little trigger happy on the bases. You don't want to overplay yet again. The 1-1 will skip back up to the pitcher. Nice job there from Evan Lucas, making sure nobody advances. And it looks like McKee thought he got hit on it. Count out 2-1, so he'll stay in the box, but an interesting one there. As well, a good job by Kitzberger behind the plate, keeping that one in front. It doesn't matter if it's close or not. If it's in front and somebody can get to it, it's a job well done. The 2-1 high for ball three. In the batter's box right now, it's St. Ignatius, but in the on-deck circle, it'll turn on over to St. Ed's and Leo D'Angelo. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it'll miss inside for ball four. So in the end, McKee will get his base, and with two down, the bases are loaded for D'Angelo. D'Angelo, the sixth batter of the inning for Release, but still no damage done. Of course, a big day as well for Release as Vince Dolcemaschio, the former BW pitcher and current BW grad assistant, takes the helm for the first time as a head coach. A lot on him and, well, this organization, as you look back to yesterday, the first Release team to get a win in the summer. Former Marietta pitcher Jacob Rocky's team So it stays in the OACA inter-program rivalry, so to speak. The 0-1 also there on the inside. Quickly, 2 strikes on Leo D'Angelo. After the left fielder, it goes to the right fielder and Jack Collins. 2 strikes, the pitch. Sharp grounder up the middle, and it is picked up over at short. The throw to 1 is in time. A nice stretch by Ascano brings it in, and Premier gets out of the bases loaded jam. An excellent defensive stand for the visitors, or the home team today. It's not going to get any easier from here, but their bats will have a chance to swing when we return. It's Fries, Hanlon, and Ascano duo for Premier Santoro as you are watching the 2026 Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to the ballpark at Hudson. Bottom of the first inning in the inaugural 18U matchup in this year's Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament. No score. Release knocked on the door rapidly in the top of the first inning, having the bases loaded with 2 away. But a defensive stand from Premier was the difference, making it 0-0 opposed to really what could have been 2-0 with a base knock entering the bottom of the inning. Premier now a chance to strike first, but it is a tall task to break down the man on the mound in Trey Powers. The junior, now rising senior out of St. Ignatius, has a fastball that tops out at 90 miles per hour. That metric coming via Prep Baseball Reports. But a really good arsenal as there is strike one. 75 to 77 on the curveball, 77.1 to 81.5 on the changeup, and defensively has a 91 max exit velo from the outfield. The 1-1 connects at the bottom of the zone for strike two. Danny Fries, Jack Hanlon, and Antonio Ascano 1-2-3 this inning for Premier. Powers looking for his first strikeout of the summer, but he will have to wait. A weak dribbler over towards first, and it's going to get through. It'll be an E3 to get the game going offensively for Premier. That's one of those mistakes that you have to avoid, but it is early on in the new season. Game number one, inning number one to be exact. But that'll be a really tough break going forward as the leadoff man is aboard for Premier, bringing on Hanlon. Of course, for Release, in a really unironic way, just like the Brian Rocchio is 3 batters away. They have a really good read on, well, Antonio Escano. He's in the on-deck circle, and he'll have some extra help as this ball has gone into center field on the throwback. So a passed ball behind the plate gets away from Berglund, and his throw goes into center. A really rocky defensive start for Release. Now Hanlon, a hand-gifted opportunity potentially to lay down a bunt. Depends on how Premier wants to play this one. Instead, he will swing away and miss. This season for North Royalton, a .240 average with 3 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 1 stolen base in 18 games. But an early runner at second base for Premier in the bottom of the first. Hanlon gets a piece of it, but foul down the right field line. Once again in the on-deck circle, it is going to be a big hitter in Antonio Escano. Not to really spoil what he can do, but 9 home runs is not too shabby for the former North Royalton Bear. And well current if you talk about travel baseball. The 1-2 from Powers is high and wide. A good block, though, from Berglund. Looking at this defense today, it's Powers on the mound, Berglund behind the plate, Zarevak at first, Harrison at second, McKee at short, Pash at third, D'Angelo, Papiashak, and Collins. That's the outfield left to right. Here's the 2-2, and it's caught on the foul tip by Berglund. First strikeout of the game for Trey Powers. And a massive first out leading up to Antonio Escano's at-bat. You talk about a program legend, a program-defining player. That's what Antonio Escano was for North Royalton. A .375 average on the year, 25 RBIs, 3 doubles, 1 triple, 9 home runs, and as well an .061 ERA on the mound. In other words, he was dominant. Of course, not only the first Escano to do it over at North Royalton, but won't be the first one to do it over at BW as Mario is currently there. A part of that great team that season ended up at Eastlake in the College World Series for D3. The 0-1 will miss low in the dirt. Of course, Vince Dolcemaschio knows that team very well. Played for them for 2 years, across 2024 and 2025, and this season in 2026 was a graduate assistant. But a lot of success lately for Baldwin Wallace in baseball. The 1-1, Escano a half swing, but still went. After Escano, it goes to the starting pitcher, Evan Lucas. Still a runner over at second to deal with for Release's defense. Powers is 1-2. A good drive from Escano, and it is through into right center field. It's down in the gap. It is going to be an RBI double at least for Escano. He wants 3, and he will stop there. It's an RBI triple for Antonio Escano, and Premier will strike first in the Diamond League tournaments. What a swing from Escano. The 1-2 count just got away from Powers in the end. And Antonio Escano continues to do what he did for North Royalton. Barrel up baseballs. Ironically, though, with that said, including his high school exploits, that is only his second triple of the season. A lot of extra base hits. He is known for that. But the triples, not so much, and that nearly could have been an inside the Parker if he maybe legged it out a little bit more. But this is not the point of the game where you take those risks. Lucas gets a piece of it, fouling it back. You go from bases loaded 2 down, thinking that this Release team, given all the star power, is going to score, to then going up 1-0. It's an impressive turnaround for this Premier team. Still plenty of game left to play, but it's an early advantage for what might be considered the underdogs in this matchup. The 1-1 in the dirt, but blocked by Berglund. Of course, Release has their second game of the day later on against Midwest Fordois. Then after that, Midwest will stay on and play Premier, a game that we are not doing. But a big day today at Hudson. Lucas fouls that one back, and we are even at 2-2. Then tomorrow, pool play will continue, and then on Monday, we'll see the top 4 teams over at Lakewood for 3 games leading up to the championship game at around 8 p.m. Tomorrow, it'll be all 15U, 2 pool games at Lakewood, and then we'll have their tournament as well. 2 semifinals and a championship game culminating at 6 p.m. Lucas does well to take that one in the dirt, and we are full. After Evan Lucas, it goes to Trevor Kitzberger, the catcher. But right now, Antonio Escano telling the story for Premier. The payoff pitch, Lucas, grounder over towards short. This will score Escano. The throw to one is in time, but a really good pick from the first baseman. It'll be a sacrifice ground out for Evan Lucas, and that'll make it 2-0 Premier. That's a trade that you will make 10 times out of 10. You'll take the out, but get the run. And the bases are now clear for the catcher with 2 away. But this Premier Ohio team making some noise in the first inning. Of course, as the home team, they have more time to play with as well to keep this lead intact. And if needed, I don't know if you do it today, but maybe. If Lucas gets you 5 or 6 innings, you bring on Antonio Escano to nail it down. Very similar to what we saw out of Alliance with Bo Davis coming in to just nail it down at the end of a game. Or even kind of what Riley Verteber did in part for Lakewood. The 2-0 from Powers again is in the dirt. 3-0 the count here on Kitzberger, the catcher, with Nick Swaboni in the on-deck circle. Kitzberger, the 5th hitter of the frame for Premier. We have seen a lot of offense so far. The 3-0 from Powers will connect at the top of the zone. So far for Premier, an error, a strikeout, an RBI triple, and an RBI groundout. The 3-1 is there for strike 2, and we are full. So one of the runs unearned, one of them earned. But of course, you might argue that if that first error isn't made, that first run doesn't come around to score in the same fashion. Here's the payoff pitch, a good drive up the middle, picked up over at short on the fly. A nice catch over there by the shortstop McKee, and the inning is over. But what a start for Premier's offense. Antonio Escano, the big rip to get it going. To the second we go. It's Premier up 2-0 on release.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Escano and Lucas, the damage so far for Premier through 1, as it is Premier Santoro up 2-0 on release, as you are watching the Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. A beautiful morning for baseball so far at the ballpark at Hudson. But of course, we are expecting some storms later on today that could really put a damper on the back end of day 1 of pool play in the 18U division. Lucas's 0-1 will skip on in. For Release this inning, it is going to be Collins, Saravac, and Mihalik. 7, 8, and 9 due up. Once again, a semi-makeshift lineup today for Release due to some late inactives coming in. It's never easy in summer ball when somebody doesn't show up on time or plans change to make a pivot like that on the fly. But that is what Release has had to do this morning. For Premier, giving in a big player like Antonio Escano for this tournament has been vital so far, considering the fact they have a couple of paddable players out since they are in the Final Four. The 2-1 from Lucas, a good rip over it towards short. The throw to one will be dropped by Escano. An excellent effort to try and scoop that one up. But once again, the leadoff man will be aboard. So far as this is our third half inning of the day, all three leadoff hitters have reached safely. That time just a really long throw to make over at short. It wasn't a bad attempt from Hanlon. Antonio Escano just couldn't get there in the end. And now that'll bring up Mason Saravac. But first, the throw back to one. I don't hate the throw from Hanlon. He knows his first baseman very well, considering they both play for North Royalton. Just couldn't get the chemistry on point that time around. Lucas now from the slide will miss in the dirt for ball one. For Release, you really cannot let this one hang the way it is for too long. If you give Premier the confidence that they can play a full 7 just like this, they might be able to get that done. But the opposite happens here as that ball is past the catcher Kitzberger, and now that'll give second base to the leadoff man Collins. First run of the season for Release now in scoring position. Again, they did have the bases loaded in the first inning, but this is a new frame and a better start at that. Saravac good take on the 2-0 in the dirt for ball 3. Again, in the on-deck circle, it is going to be Austin Mihalik, the right fielder, and then back to the top of the order we go. Lucas thought about the throw in the end, will just step off and look back. Has to be careful not to balk in a situation like this. The 3-0 easily there for strike one. Now Lucas back at it, needs to continue battling. We saw plenty of good fight from him in the first. We need to see it again here. Instead, he misses low for ball 4. So 2 on, none down for Mihalik, the right fielder. Tying run now at first for Release in the second inning. But for Mihalik, a .211 average on the year, 8 RBIs and 1 double in 22 games for Berea Mid-Park as a junior. Mid-Park did have some struggles this season, but still a really good team. They competed against now the team that represents the region in the Final Four, Perrysburg, which is not easy to do. That Perrysburg team different again this year. The 0-1 on the outer edge this time connects. Still no strikeouts today for Evan Lucas, but a chance to change that here. And he really needs to with 2 runners behind him already this inning. The 0-2, it will miss off the plate. Combined so far, just the 1 strikeout, and that one came against Hanlon. Lucas again will miss. Count out 2-2. And correction, he does have 1 strikeout. That came against Cam Pesh back in the first. Counts it at 2-2. And it's off the plate, so we are now full. From 0-2 to full. Not the run Lucas wanted here after he started to find his stride in the second inning. And this is going to be a massive payoff pitch. But first again, he will look over to second. Has to be careful with those feet. I would say he is closer to a balk than he would really like to be. Here's the payoff pitch, and it is going to go to the backstop. I believe it did ding off of him as well. But the bases are loaded, none down, and we go back to the top of the order with Poppy Shock. And in the meantime, there will be a mound meeting between catcher and pitcher. Kitzberger and Lucas want to get right back on the same page. For Release, put this ball on the ground in the outfield, and most likely he would have tied the game up. An early breaking point in this game, we started at around 9:04, so about a half an hour in. And I don't think there is a time limit for the Diamond League tournament or anything associated with the NABF. So this game can go as long as it really likes to. Swing and a miss there. The runner will take off from third and is easily in. You'll trade a strike for a run any day of the week. It's now 2-1. Nice job reading the down angle by the lead runner, Collins. And Release now 90 feet away from tying this game up at 2 in the seconds. As of right now, it looks like offense, offense, offense is the name of the game, no matter how it happens. Lucas's 0-1 is high. As I said, if you give Premier the confidence to go out here and continue playing the same game they played in the first, they will take advantage. Release needs to continue scoring here, take a lead, and not look back. Heavy swing and a miss on one of the dirts. Poppy Shock so far today, 1 for 1 with a base knock on a 2-strike pitch. This is his wheelhouse if anything was to be learned from the first inning. If he can do it again, that could give Release the lead. The 1-2 he takes instead low. But his 2-strike approach was really good in the first inning. Just a simple cut up the middle, didn't try to reinvent the wheel or anything along those lines. Just went out there and swung the bat. Like that, but straightened out the first time. He will stay alive, though, with that swing as he fouls it off over the first base dugout. As expected, we will see the sun kind of come and go at points today. We could have probably had our brightest moment already today and really wouldn't know it. And again, the breeze, though, definitely does help in this heat. The 2-2 from Lucas, another good cut over towards third this time. Picked up, and the throw to one is high and past Toscano, and Release will take the lead. Make it 3-2 Release. It's a 2-run error. A tough throw across the diamond to make. Toscano did all he could over at first base, but still the job is done. One of those, of course, will be an RBI, as that run would have scored regardless. Poppy Shock reaching twice today. He has looked quite good for this Release team, and they needed him to step up, and he has so far. And again, time is called this time. Coach Santoro will go and have a word with Evan Lucas. A really tough spot now for Premier, as they still don't have the first out of the inning, already giving up 3. This is where Release, though, can live. Their wheelhouse is coming in and scoring runs. Their mantra is wreak havoc. And they do that all the time. You go back to our last game here at Hudson 2 years ago. We mentioned it a few weeks back with Jack Zarco. He went 7 for 8 across 2 games. He hit 2 home runs, really just took over for Release. You look at guys like Bo Davis, Jackson Anthony. Great hitters in their own right. Mason Saravac today stepping in. A lot of great hitters on this roster. They know how to get the job done, and they always have. You talk about the travel ball landscape over the past 5 to 6 years. Release coming in was one of the biggest additions to the game, as they have really created some great hitters. Lucas throws back to one, and Toscano has to lean over and nearly stumble to pick that one up. But Braden Harrison will step in for the second time today. The lefty 0 for 1 when they ground out to Fries at third. The 0-1 wave and a miss, chasing the high heat. For Harrison, 17 RBIs in 23 games this season for North Ridgeville. Played in every single game for the Rangers. And that time he gets contact chasing the high heat. After Harrison, it turns to Cam Pesh, who struck out looking his first time up, a chance for redemption. But for Premier, once again, until it happens, it is going to be the same goal. Get your first out of the inning and work out of this jam. Swing and a miss there from Harrison. That'll help. There is out number 1, and the second strikeout of the day for Evan Lucas. Harrison there just needed to keep his head down, kept chasing out of the zone, chased high twice. I love the move to bring that one low. You've seen his swinging tendency. He is swinging a lot more than maybe he should. You're going to get that chase that he doesn't connect one time, and he didn't waste the time he took it. With one big out now on the board, here comes Cam Pesh. So far, 5 runs combined, 3-2 release up in the top of the second inning. The 1-0 is to the backstop, and it's an easy base this time for Poppy Shock. Nothing too crazy this time around, as of course the last time we saw him on the bases, he nearly got picked off right away. Some more discipline this time, now stands in scoring position. If this ball is down in the outfield, most likely he will send himself. The 2-0 high for ball 3, but right now I don't think you swing. Ivan Lucas is just struggling to find the zone, had a great start, but since then a couple of big hits have really put a damper in his demeanor. That one, though, will help just hitting the top of the zone. For Pesh, this is a get-right at-bat, though. Get on base, whether it be via the walk, base hit, hit by a pitch, you name it, just get on and use that for momentum. And he will do just that. There is ball 4 missing inside. So 2 on, 1 down now for Bobby Berglund. Already 1 for 1 on the day. And with not too many substitutes available today for Premier, the question is, when do you decide to make that call to the bullpen, or most likely, the call to your infield or outfield? It'll be a tough call. Poppy Shock, he's going to break for third, and he is there. An excellently executed delay double steal. Poppy Shock, of course, leading the charge, gets there, and then on the follow-through from Pesh, both do their job, and now both stand in scoring position for the former prepper. Rather, current prepper. But right now for Bobby Berglund, I don't know if your goal here is simply going out and destroying a baseball. It might be just putting this ball in right field, or if you can, down that right field line. You can barely see the right fielder in frame. There's a drive. It is through into center field and down. 1 run will score. They will send Pesh around as well. He easily scores 2. And now going to third is Berglund. And he is there. It's a 2 RBI triple for Bobby Berglund. Release is opening the floodgates in the second. Now up 5-2. The second RBI triple of the day combined. This one goes to Release. And Release is exactly what he did on that baseball. Down in that right center field gap, just like Escanos. This Release team continues to wreak havoc. In a third of an inning, they have plated 5 already. A big 3-run advantage as here comes Matt McKee, the shortstop. Chases that one high. What a turnaround for Release. Had the bases loaded, couldn't do anything in the first. But this team is playing some excellent baseball in the seconds. McKee gets a piece on the swing and tip. Quickly down 0-2 in the count to Lucas. After Matt McKee, it goes to Leo D'Angelo, who wrapped up last inning. 2-strike count on the shortstop, and he will swing and tip. It'll be the 3rd strikeout of the day for Lucas, the 2nd of the inning for out number 2. Good aggression, though, from McKee, trying to get a jump on one. Just couldn't get it done in the end. And that'll bring us to Leo D'Angelo. This Release team coming out with the same ferocity that they did earlier on this inning. And it will continue here. A hard rip over towards third. The throw to one from Fries is on the money. And the inning is over. But 5 runs come to pass for Release. A combination of good hitting and good base running get the job done for the visitors. To the bottom of the second inning we go at Hudson. 5-2, now your score. Release wreaking havoc as always.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at crossfitstrongsville.com SmeeSports.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
From 2-0 to 5-2 we go in the matter of a half inning. Release's offense came out and swung the bats quite well in the top of the second inning. Premier now down by 3 will bring up their 6, 7, and 8 hitters as you are watching the 2026 Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Again, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning, live from the ballpark at Hudson. Trey Powers getting back to work for Release will miss for ball 1. Release, though, figured it out under Coach Release Dolcemaschio. It's not easy getting used to a new coach, albeit at this point in the program, it is a lot of player-ran initiatives. But still, buying into a new skipper and buying into what he can teach is not necessarily an easy thing. But this group, after an inning of struggles in the first, have made this inning their own. And it's a good sign of things to come. Coaching is going to be a part of these young men's lives for a long time if they continue to play baseball at the collegiate level. You have to be able to adapt to new coaching, especially in the era of all of the coaching changes that we see. Take Kalamazoo, for example. A lot of the players transferring out because, well, there is uncertainty at the coaching position. If you can fit a system and buy in, you will be a very valuable baseball player going forward. The 3-1-2 Swaboni will miss for ball 4, and the leadoff man is aboard for Premier. And now that'll bring up Griffin Jonda out of St. Vincent St. Mary High School. Jonda went 2 for 6 this year for the Fighting Irish, 1 RBI. Was a part of that team that ended up bowing out here a few days ago, 10-0 to Hobart in the regional semis. Anytime that we talk about St. Vincent St. Mary, we always have to bring up the job that Ben Shepard has done with that program. Inherited a group in turmoil after the 2023 season, and since then, has made them perennial contenders to potentially win a region. Still looking for that first regional crown, but has been consistently in the tournaments. Of course, you had some big guys earlier on like Devon Lehman who made life a lot easier, but even now, guys like Jonda and Will Tober stepping up out of the class of 27. They continue what Ben Shepard started a few years ago with that senior class of 2024. Of course, you lose a guy like Rylan Hurley after this season, Zach Kirky after the prior season, Tyler Sloan as well. There's a lot of talent that has come out of St. V's over the past couple of seasons. The 1-1 from Powers, Jonda swings and misses. After Griffin, it turns to Ray Bent, the left fielder. Counts it at 1-2. Powers sets and delivers, and it is taken in the dirt. It's a nice skip in. Jonda able to lay off. And time locally 9:47 p.m. or a.m. Not necessarily the quickest game that we have seen this season, but arguably not the longest either. The 2-2. Jonda will take strike 3, looking for out number 1. Powers gave up the walk in the leadoff spot. Responds with a looking K. Up to 2 strikeouts on the morning. And that'll bring up Tyler Rabent, the left fielder. For Release, if you can get a double play here to get out of the inning, that would be a great way to cap off what has been an excellent response after a slow start. Of course, the errors did not help earlier on in this game. You have to keep those errors to a minimum. We saw the same exact thing with Premier, not just in this game, but going forward in the next game of the day for both teams, whether it be up next or after a game break. I would say, though, for Release, it is going to be a really tough task to go back out there and compete again against a really good team in Midwest. But they can do it. They have the pitching depth, and they have the overall depth to do it, especially if Cole Twardokis does come for game number 2. You get Twardokis, if he can go out there and throw 5 to 6, I don't know if you throw him the entire way, considering how much he pitched for Honkin this year, if he does show up. But they'll cross that bridge when they get there, and it'll be a good issue to have to address if it happens. That time, a little offering on the half swing makes it 1-2. Rabin wearing number 12, a rising senior at Cuyahoga Heights High School after batting .279 this year for the Wolves. The 1-2, swing and a miss. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Trey Powers. Up to 3 on the day and has back-to-back outs. Now 2 down in the inning. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter in Kyle Kalinowski. Kalinowski wearing number 23 today, just finished up his junior season at Valley Forge High School. Not the season the Patriots wanted to have by any stretch of the imagination, but still had some good battles in there. Batted .214 with 5 RBIs and 3 stolen bases this season. A 1 count here on the number 9 hitter. Power sets and delivers. And again connects. He has really turned it up to the next level in the second inning. And now a chance for him to strike out the side. All of that considered after a leadoff walk too. The 0-2 from Powers just tipped foul. So Kalinowski will see it again. Looking ahead to the top of the third inning for Release, it is going to be Colin, Saravac, and Mihalik. Bottom 3 once again due up just like they were last inning. Powers getting fancy with the left-hand jab over towards first, just couldn't get him in time. But as a lefty, he really does have a big advantage looking over at first base. Just step with that back leg, this case the left off, and just sling it over. It's one of the easier pickoff moves to master. The 1-2, rather the 0-2, will miss in the dirt, making it now 1-2. But righties always have that more difficult move to make lefties. They can still fall into the pitfall of a block, but not nearly as often, especially looking at first. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and Powers does get the job done. Third consecutive punch out for Trey Powers, now 4 on the day, and Release's defense will settle it down in the bottom of the second inning. The offense, though, not satisfied, only up by 3. They want more when we return in the top of the third inning.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Seven, 8, and 9 due up for the second consecutive inning for Release. Last time out, 5 runs in a third of an inning. They look to do something similar here in the top of the third as you are watching the 2026 Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Collins, a good swing to get us underway as it is flown well foul. This Release team looks to be aggressive again, just like they were last inning. But it wasn't simply bat to ball, boom, you score. It was great base running as well that got the job done, whether it be a pass ball or on an error, advancing the amount of bases that they should. In my opinion, playing it safe, they really didn't leave anything on the table in the second inning. Collins, the junior, one of the tallest players that we will see this summer, standing at 6'7". On top of that, at 225, a really good stature. He can definitely be a great player. There's a reason why he can also play first base for this team. At 32 RBIs with a 373 this season over at St. John's in Ashtabula. And that one will ping off of him. But unfazed, the leadoff man again is aboard. Both teams have had their leadoff man aboard every single time they have swung it today. But Collins is going to be a really good asset for this team this summer. And you look at a lot of these other athletes that they have, this team can really do a lot of damage, and I think they will. I wouldn't be surprised if they win at least a few tournaments, if not more than that. Of course, in the new kind of tournament format, you are going to see a lot of teams kind of move their chips into the center of the table for more pristine tournaments. An example of that will be the NABF. I think we're going to see a lot of teams kind of put all their resources towards that, and maybe the weekend before, maybe, just maybe, a little less on the gas. Prestige is everything, and this Diamond League tournament is no exception, being around for 20 seasons now. And of course, the Diamond League, the OPL, WRCL, mainstays in Northeast Ohio for more than 2 decades already. Lucas gets back to work, misses low to Sarevec. Looking ahead to next week, of course, we will have our inaugural is not really the right word, but our first broadcast of the year for the 965 Midwest Challenge on Wednesday. A triple header over at Kent as that ball is to the backstop. It's a live ball, at least one base here for Collins, and he will just take the one. But tomorrow we do have some tournament championships down the stretch. Monday, just tournament championships. Tuesday, if the weather holds up, we'll have some WRCL action. A lot of great games coming up across the region here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. The 2-0 able to connect this time on the outer edge for strike one. And it looks like right now there is going to be some stretching in the bullpen for Release. We'll try to see who that is in a few moments. The 2-1 will connect at the bottom of the zone this time. A relatively low zone from our vantage point here on the third base press box side. But still, it has been given the nod many times today. Now the 2-2. That time it skips in, and we are full. Sarevec so far today 0 for 0 with a walk. And it appears to be a righty warming up, or at least stretching for Release. Here's the payoff pitch. Sarevec swings and misses for out number one. For the strikeout of the day for Evan Lucas. We have seen strikeouts aplenty today from both Powers and Lucas. Lucas at 4, Powers at 4. So 8 combined, and I think that number will only increase as the day goes on. And in the 9th spot here comes Austin Mihalik. And same result, swing and a miss. If Lucas can get out of this jam and the offense can figure it out at the top with Escano in the 3 spot again, they have a chance to get back in this game. The 0-1 is there again. So quickly an 0-2 count. Lucas looking to go back-to-back in the strikeout departments. But of course, far from a given against this strong Release team. The 0-2, it's in the dirt and to the backstop. That'll be a free base for Collins, now moving 90 feet closer to home. That'll be a pivotal run for Release if they can score again, even though it's just one run, which might seem minuscule, just to continue showing that you can score. That's the more important thing to note, opposed to just the tally, especially already up by 3. Of course, going up by 4 is better than 3, as any mathematician would tell you, but just in the gamesmanship realm, it'll do a lot of good for Release going forward. And for Premier, it might be the kick they need to kick it into high gear. The 2-2 sails high, and we are full. In the on-deck circle for Release, it is Dylan Poppyshak at the top of the order once again. A chance to see him for the third time in as many innings. The payoff pitch from Lucas. It is tipped back. That's one of those that if he could do it again, Mihalik would want back. Just ran inside on the hands, couldn't get the bat out of the way, and I think at the same time kind of decided to go. And now I think they're going to say it hit him. I think that's what they're discussing here. It really wasn't clear as it hit off the bat, but it could be off the hands technically. We have seen that one in the College World Series, or rather the college playoffs, quite a bit where you kind of hear that ding, but it's more the hands, and the ding is more of the reverb through the bat itself. So they're going to talk about this one. It was definitely in on the hands. It didn't look like a swing. The grimace looked like more of a painful one than more of a, I shouldn't have swung at it. But of course, it just depends on what this umpire crew saw. Of course, home plate has a good vantage point, but if we're talking about if it hit the hands or the bat, the field umpire has a direct line of sight to it. And they're going to call it a foul ball and bring him back, which I think is the right call. It's a tough one. I do think it hit off the bat a little bit. Did it clip the hand? Maybe. That's all the action of the bullpen appears to be Luke Higgins out of Berea Mid-Park. So a lefty to righty change might be on the cards for Release. Here's the payoff pitch, and that time he swung through. It'll be a drop third, and there is the tag for out number 2. A good recovery, though, from Kitzberger to apply the tag. Otherwise, that could have been a free base, but it's back-to-back strikeouts now for Evan Lucas, up to 5 on the day. And Dylan Poppyshock will take things back over at the top of the order. Not just a good baseball player for Berea Mid-Park, but also a great football player. Nearly 2,500 yards last season in the air in only 8 games. On top of that, with a 27-5 touchdown to interception ratio. On top of that, 4 rushing touchdowns. He looked excellent. And he will try to help the Titans have another good season over at George Finney this year. The 1-0 Poppyshock. That one is going to hurt. It's off the foot. One of the more painful feelings in all of baseball. A foul ball off the foot, shin, ankle, you name it. If it's in that general region and it gets hit on a swing like that, it is going to sting for a few days. But Poppyshock so far today enjoying his baseball. Has reached both times. One on a single. The other one was at one point going to go down as an RBI ground out in the end. It was an error. The 1 run still scored anyway, and then another one advanced on the wild throw over to first. The 1-1 also there. Count quickly 1-2 on the leadoff man out of Berea Mid-Park. 5-2 Release, trying to find a run this inning. And there is strike 3 looking. They will not find a run. It is the 3rd consecutive strikeout of the inning for Evan Lucas. He strikes out the side. An excellent response from Premier's defense. Again, their backs against the wall. They get out of the 3rd inning jam. To the bottom of the frame we go. 1, 2, 3, Fries, Hanlon, and Escano do up again for Premier Santoro.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Plenty of work to do for Premier as we begin the bottom of the third inning. Top of the order due up, down 5-2 to Release as you are watching the Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. So far today, there has been one consistency across the board. The leadoff man has reached in every single half inning thus far. The question is, how long will that continue? The fact we've already seen it 5 times is impressive in its own right. But I'm sure it has to end at some point. The 0-1 from Powers, weak grounder off towards the left side. A sharp charge from short is enough to make the play at 1. An excellent throw from Matt McKee. Kind of thrown into the fire at shortstop around 20 minutes before first pitch this morning, but he has really made that position his own. And as I said, the streak of every single leadoff man getting on had to end sometime. Well, folks, it ends right here. Second put out of the day for Matt McKee over at short. He has been quite solid. Once again, though, if you can get Cole Tordokas to come in, whether it be later today or at least the next 2 days of this tournament, that would be huge for Release going forward. Hanlon takes the 0-1, evening things up, and again in the on-deck circle, it is Antonio Escano. He is their knight in shining armor, so to speak. The 1-1 connects again. After that first inning, Trey Powers has nailed it down. He has looked great for the last inning and a third for Release. Now the 1-2, it skips in and is blocked by Berglund. Had 3 consecutive strikeouts after the walk last inning. Has only given up the 1 hit today, and that was the RBI triple from Antonio Escano. So he has yet to give up a single or double. This one, a good drive over towards right, and it's going to get down and fair. It is going to be extra bases again. This time it's Jack Hanlon, and he will stop at second with a double. An excellent swing once again for Premier Santoro. They don't want 1 base. They want extras, and they have done it twice so far. A weird anomaly of the game that they have only hit extra base knocks, but this one was perfectly down the right, the exact swing he wanted, and when it got down and made that beeline towards the corner, going 3 would have been a little bit too risky, so I like the move to stay put at second base, but Premier is getting back in business, and a chance for Antonio Escano to do it again. He does. In part, he gets hit. Most cases you'd say, yeah, we'll take the free base, but with Antonio Escano, you want him to swing. We say a lot of guys, their best attribute is their base running. For Escano, it is his ability to hit the ball well over 330 feet. But he will take the hard 90. Once again, guest playing this weekend, a part of the North Royalton Bears during the week, and on the weekend, a part of that Premier Gambetta and Premier Boris collaboration group. That'll be a great team this year as Lucas nearly gets hit as well. But that's not the only collaboration that you have between 2 coaches. One of the guys that we've talked about quite a bit on SmeeSports, Gus Gregory, he is coaching a 14U team with Ryan Boris this year for Premier. The 1-0 skips in. We will definitely have to try and go and see them play a game because in knowing Gus and knowing what kind of baseball player he was for Strongsville, was for the Stallions, and now Premier, and of course for Wright State, it is going to be a well-coached group. The 2-0, a good drive from Lucas into right field, and it is going to be caught. I really know it's going to drop in. So a long single and the bases are loaded. It looked like the way that he played it, it was going to be caught. And just in the end, it got in there. Bases juiced, 1 down. Still no runs have scored this inning. And here comes Kitzberger, the catcher. Of course, they want to cut off a run coming home. At the same time, they just need to make a play somewhere. Powers in a jam in the third. But he will connect on his first pitch. This is where you need to rely on what has made you such a good pitcher, not only for Release over the past couple of years, but also for St. Ignatius. You have to drive that heel into the ground and go forward. So we're going to miss there from Kitzberger, so quickly an 0-2 count. Premier's tying run stands at first base. And a chance for them to potentially drive in at least 1 on a fly ball. Here's the 0-2. It'll skip in. It is to the backstop. And Hanlon, he didn't go. He went for a second, and in the end, on the ricochet, opted to stay put. Maybe that's one you risk. Maybe later on in the game, when that's your only option, you do it. Here, Premier wants to play it a little bit safe. But if you don't score this inning, Release is going to come out and do what Release does best. I would say that is a pretty safe bet. Powers maybe an extra life here. And he will take it. It's a drop third, but it won't matter as first is occupied. 5th strikeout of the day for Trey Powers as he gets a pivotal second out. From here, a force anywhere, you're out of the inning. A chance for Nick Swaboni to step back in. So far today, 0 for 0 with a walk. Talk about a pivotal spot for the junior out of Walsh Jesuit High School. Played on the JV roster this past season and wants to make it up to varsity for next year's playoff push. Of course, this year they want to go out and win a state title anyway. When you have Matt Mansberry as your shortstop, a Michigan commit, that does help. Or so I've been told. We saw him play for Team Ohio Pro Select last summer. A really top-tier talent. Trey Powers, though, a top-tier talent in his own right. A 2-strike count on Swaboni. A chance to strand the bases loaded and not allow any damage. A big spot for the Wildcats. Here's the 0-2, and Swaboni will take it low. So the inning will continue for the time being. Looking ahead to the top of the 4th, it is Harrison, Pesh, and Berglund, 2, 3, and 4 due up for Release. 1 ball, 2 strike on Swaboni. And again, he takes again in the dirt. If the inning goes past the second baseman, it'll turn over to Griffin Jonda, the right fielder. If Premier is to get back in the game, it might have to happen here. Deuce is on Swaboni. And he will take ball 3. A really close offering from Powers in the end doesn't get the nod. The runners will be in motion here. A walk makes it 5-3, but an out. Powers stands tall. And it is going to be the latter. Powers stands tall, gets the strikeout, his 6th of the day, and the inning is over. Bases juiced, and Trey Powers does what he does best, getting out of the jam. Back-to-back punch-outs, that is his bread and butter. He tops 90 with the fastball. Ignatius uses him as a pitcher for a reason. And Release, yet another great pitcher to go through their organization. And he shows why here. Off of the 4th inning we go. 2 times today, 1 for each team. We have seen it seem with the bases loaded behind them, get out of the jam. This time it's Release. The question is, will this time bring runs?
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
If that's the last we see of Trey Powers today, it has been a fun time watching him. He makes his way now out to the left field bullpen, most likely to probably stay loose. But always a chance we do see a pitching change. He got the job done in the 3rd. Bases loaded behind him. He stands tall. No damage done by Premier. But full Release, this is where they want to put their foot in the ground, draw their line in the sand, and leave Premier in the dust. Already up by 3. You need at least 5 runs to force a run rule starting in the 5th. Of course, to go through all of the crazy instances that you can end a game if you're up by 15 after 3, if you're up by 10 after 4, if you're up by 8 after 5 or 6, you're done. Still a long way to go for that if you're Release. But for them, it's 2, 3, and 4. Harrison, Pesh, and Berglund. This is their time to extend the lead when Premier had a great opportunity to cut into it and potentially tie it up. But in the end, Trey Powers just really locked in and did his thing. Again, it's not an easy transition going from high school ball to travel ball, but Release right now after an inning to get acclimated has been perfect. The 3-0 from Lucas will hang tall for ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Braden Harrison. That is the 6th time today that the leadoff man has reached. Only once has it not happened, and that was last inning, which you go back and you think about it. If he would have, this would at a minimum be 5-3, if not more. Instead, it's 5-2, and Release will try to continue their offense. But nearly a ball that could have knocked out 2 linchpins. Pesh really lucky that one went foul down the left field line, as if Premier could have turned it, it's 2 quick outs. I think at that point you would have at least earned the out at second, just based on where he was, and ooh, it looks like a baseball from the bullpen has come flying back in. And I believe that one, I think it is at least, the one that was fouled down the line. Before the 0-1, Lucas looks over to Escano and throws back. I think given the instance, if you're going to throw Escano this weekend, it is going to be later. And again, the question is, when does Premier want to throw him next weekend, as that is his real team? And did the Bears throw him this week? You have 3 different groups right now after this weekend, too, wanting his services, especially on the mound. He has to manage it well, especially going to BW next year. And Vince Dolcemaschio in this dugout wants to make sure of that too. Pesh, a good drive deep to center field, and it is going to be caught in center. A nice diving effort for out number 1 by Gaddens. Gaddens not hitting today, being hit for, but the first time he gets the ball on the fly, he does not miss. And with a loud first out, that'll bring in Bobby Berglund, the catcher. A 2 RBI triple and a single so far today for the prepper. He has been outstanding for Release so far. And again, there's that lefty pickoff move this time being shown by Lucas. Both starting pitchers, 6 strikeouts so far today in their summer ball debut. Berglund that time gets jammed up, skying it over towards the first base dugout and out of play. If that ball was close, Escano was right there. Of course, once this Premier Santoro team gets back a couple of their Bruins, they will be in a better spot going forward. At the earliest, you get them back next week. Just depends on how things go against Baden, and then from there, if you make it to the D3 championship game. The 0-1, a good drive this time. It's through into left field. Bobby Berglund is now 3 for 3 today. He continues to rake for Release. It's early to say, of course, but you're talking about player of the game, and with it, player of the week nominations. Bobby Berglund has made a really strong case this morning. Doesn't really get much better than 3 for 3 and 2 RBIs as well to begin your summer ball season. And now here comes Matt McKee. A walk and a strikeout so far today for him. But as things stand, 2-on-1 down, Release looking to do some damage in the 4th. And in a really good spot to do just that. McKee lines it over towards left, and it's through. They will send home the lead runner, Harrison, and he is going to trot on in there. It'll be an RBI double for Matt McKee, and that'll make it 6-2 Release. An excellent drive from the pseudo shortstop. His number got called this morning. He rose to the occasion defensively and now offensively. Wreak havoc. It's their mantra for a reason, and they just continue to do it. Another good barrel from this Release offense. Now up by 4, you're 4 runs away from the lowest run rule. That would be huge for your pitching, because then you have a decision. Do you pull Powers after 3 and potentially save him for the championship on Monday, as the only pitch count rule is 125 in a day? You could throw 125, or with it, if you start an at-bat, you hit 125, you finish. you can go back and pitch again. If you save him from here, maybe, just maybe, you get Monday out of him. The 1-1, swing and a miss. At the same time, you have to make sure you have enough pitching. You'll have to win, not necessarily win, you have to play 6 games. You need to win the last 2. But you also need to make the last 2 by winning, I would say, 3 of the first 4. The 1-2, weak chip, over towards third. The throw home is high. It'll sail to the backstop. 1 run will score. Now McKee will as well. It's another defensive miscue for Premier. That'll make it 8-2. That's what happens when you put the ball in play. D'Angelo forces the mistake. It'll still be an RBI fielder's choice, but just like Poppy Shock earlier, an extra run comes to score on the throwing error. It's now a 6-run lead. And for Release, you're thinking, okay, let's win by 10. You're on track to do it. And that'll help too as Collins gets hit for the 2nd time today. The 3rd time he has reached. Still 1 down in the top of the 4th inning. And that'll bring in Mason Saravec. Guest playing at least for today unless he has been added officially to the roster via game changer, but that remains yet to be seen. Of course, a big football town for Olmsted Falls, a great basketball player to a 3-sport athlete. And as well, his sister won a state title a few years back with Olmsted Falls girls basketball. I believe she now plays over at Walsh. Runner goes here, throw down to third. It is not in time. And again, it's the double steal of Collins going on the delay on the back end. Once again, 2 ducks on the pond, both ready to come home. The way this inning has gone, though, you expected it. Bases loaded, you get out of the jam. What else is going to happen? This Release team is too strong to be quieted for that long, and they have made Premier pay. Saravec will take strike 1 there. Now 2-1 the count. As well, time locally, it is 10:20 a.m. So this game initially going long now might be cut a little bit short. The 2-1 swing and a heavy miss from Saravec. Just caught leaning in front of it. After Saravec, it goes to Mihalik, the right fielder. Count out 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lucas sets and delivers. Saravec gets a piece of it off towards the right side. It's going to be a tough play to make at first, but they get it done. A nice throw from Lucas for out number 2, but a run will come to pass, make it 9-2. And as well, run number 10 now stands 90 feet away for Release. But a productive ground out for Mason Saravec and a great play from Evan Lucas, as that took a lot to make happen. You go back and look at yesterday, there was a play where the pitcher had to kind of turn around and throw like that. In his case, he hit the runner. In this case, right on the money, Evan Lucas, despite what the scoreboard says, has pitched quite well for Premier. A couple of errors have really put a damper on things. And now they're going to change the call. So forget what we just said there. I believe it is going to go back to 8-2. Put a runner back on. Reset the count. Only 1 out now. Saravec has to come back in. I think they were saying it hit him in the box. They took a long time to go and talk about this. We were done with the play for around 15 to 20 seconds before there was any appeal. Which, realistically, if they thought it was a dead ball, they should have ruled it dead immediately, not after the play panned out. That's a weird one. We always have a play or two like this. It always happens, and it always will. But it really just is one that I don't know if I would agree with, considering how late it was, but Saravec has to go back to battle. Lucas is 2-2, and the result will completely change. It's a strikeout looking. Evan Lucas now 7 punch-outs on the day. So it changes only one thing. The out is still recorded. Actually, 2 things. 2 runners on opposed to 1, but 1 less run on the board. And now Mihalik has to try and bring in the run that was quickly erased from the board. But 8-2 Release up by 6. In the bottom of the inning for Premier, it is John Rabent and Kalinowski. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Premier Santoro. That ball will go to the backstop, and there is run number 9 officially. And I don't really think there is any way to appeal this one. So in a long-winded way, we got there. And for Release, this is where they try to put the run rule forcing run that would do it next inning into effect. They would still need 3 to end the game after 4. The 2-0 from Lucas. Swing and a miss. He didn't touch it. It is another pass ball, and Collins will score. Now 10-2. Even if the inning ends here, you're in a spot that if you don't allow a run in the next 2 innings, you're done early. That would be a job well done for this Release team as well, considering the tiebreaker is runs allowed. If you can keep it at 2, that'll be huge going forward. The 2-1 is high. You look at the 15U division, Diamond Boys Showcase, coached by our own Bryce Fisher. They only allowed 1 run last night. They won 7-1. They currently sit in first place because of that run differential via the runs allowed. It matters down the stretch. And the 3-1 is in the dirt. So Mihalik will take his base, and that'll bring us back to the top of the order for the 4th time with Dylan Popyshuk. So the run rule inducing run now stands into the batter's box. He has a good pop behind his swing. We've seen that. But right now, just getting on base would probably be his best bet opposed to going for the moonshot. And that's why, well underneath at a high pop-up, but well out of play as well. Just tried to do too much there with the swing. When he has that nice level swing, the line drive, the ground ball, sharply hit, that is when he is at his best. Premier has struggled to knock down that swing today, and most likely they would continue to do that if it were to be in effect again here. Runner goes, and we will have a rundown between first and second. And the rundown will end at second. An excellent throw from Escano, and there is the tag from Swaboni. Release able to plate 5 again, just like they did in the second. Now they lead it by 8. 10-2 your score, middle of 4 at Hudson.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Release has made the call to the bullpen in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Luke Higgins, the junior out of Berea Mid-Park High School, coming on to throw. Standing at 6'3", 205, he will replace Trey Powers, who, as things stand, is well in line for the win. 6 strikeouts for Powers today in 3 innings of work, only allowing a pair of hits, 1 triple, 1 double, and on top of that, only 1 earned run. A really strong start to summer ball for Trey Powers and Release after a rocky start. They allowed 2 runs back in the first inning, but they have scored the next 10, now up by 8. 1-0 count here on Griffin Jonda in the leadoff spot this inning. For Premier, after Jonda, it is going to be Rabin and Kalinowski. 7, 8, and 9 this inning due up for the home team. The 2-0, Jonda will foul away. And I did misspeak earlier. There is a time limit that stands at 2 hours. So around 9 a.m. is when we started, or more when the meeting took place. So 11 a.m. is when this one will cut off and no new innings could be started. And in the event Premier does come back and tie it, and then we do have to start a new inning after the time limit, we would not. It would just end in a tie. Higgins is 3-1, will get back in the zone, and we are full. According to PBR, a max 87 fastball for Higgins, a 72-75 on the curveball, and a 74-75 slider. The payoff pitch to Jonda, it is chopped over towards third. The long throw from Pesh, it is going to go wide. Knocked down by Collins over at first base, but still the leadoff man is aboard again. The 7th time out of 8 half innings we have seen that happen. And this one is on the throwing error over at third. That was always going to be a tough play for Pesh to make. But now that'll bring up Rabins. For Premier, you keep this going, you get back to Ascano, and you get back to Lucas. Those are the guys that can change the game for you. Especially Antonio Ascano. He is the X factor of this team. He is the guy who can really will them to get back in the game. Rabin will swing and miss at that one. As well, there is some action now in the bullpen for Premier. As of right now, no real look as to who it is. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss, again in the dirt. Count is quickly 0-2. And there's your shot of the action in the pen, and I do believe that is Antonio Ascano, and it is. So Ascano is getting warm here for Premier, and that could also be for later on today, as Rabin will put this one over towards the bullpen and well foul. Unless you come back, I would not put Ascano in, unless you were told you can only pitch him in game number 1. Otherwise, I would save him for game number 2. That is going to now become a must-win game if you do lose this one. Odds are, if you're a 2-2 team, you do not make it to Monday. The 0-2 Rabin, a good take, and the runner will easily take off and take seconds. A really good relay throw, though, from Berglund. That could have been more competitive, but Jonda is in there. A nice job reading the down angle and taking a free base because of it. But again, it'll be interesting to see if we do see him come in the game or not. The 1-2, Rabin will take strike 3 looking. First strikeout of the day for Luke Higgins. And there is a big first out for Release's defense. And assuming Premier doesn't score, you have the countdown now going in the back of your mind. You're 5 outs away from getting the win. 5 outs away from voiding any other inning past the 5th. You save your pitching, you throw Powers for 3, you throw Higgins for 2, you get out of here, you take a little break, you go back for game number 2, you try and do it again against the Midwest Stars, and then you head to Sunday. If you only play 10 to 12 at the most innings today, you'll take that, especially if you can throw 4 guys and evenly distribute them. The 1-0 is there. But the better that you do earlier on in the tournament, the less pressure there is at the end of pool play to do the same thing. And that'll give you a little cushion heading into Monday, where that is, of course, the championship is decided. Again, Jonda will take off, throw to third, not in time, just in there. Again, Jonda able to read the down angle and just sneak in. A lot of close calls for Griffin Jonda. He is definitely risking it a little bit. But down by 8, this team is just trying to do anything to put a run on the board. And that's what they need, at least one. The 2-1, a late swing and miss from Kalinowski. And correction, that was a 2-strike count, so that is out number 2. Second strikeout of the day for Higgins. But a runner at third, 2 down for Fries at the top of the order. Fries, a junior out of Brookside High School, a .282 average on the year with 10 RBIs. And there is strike 1 at the top of the strike zone. Once again, up next, it is Release versus the Midwest Stars, scheduled for around 11:30 a.m. And that'll be game 2 of our doubleheader, wrapping up our first day of summer ball coverage. The 0-1 now inside connects. Tomorrow, though, that is when we really kick it into high gear. 2 pool play games in the morning, 3 tournament games in the afternoon, 5 total games in the 15U brackets. The 0-2 to Fries will miss just high. Then on Monday, we'll have 3 games total, 2 semifinals and a championship in the 18U division. Then Tuesday, it is WRCL action, followed by 9-6-5 action on Wednesday. Here's the 1-2. Fries again will take this time low. A nice stop from Berglund as well behind the plate. For those just tuning in, Release, after a rocky start going down by 2, has scored the next 10 runs. Some strong hitting all the way around. And on top of that, excellent base running. Here's the 2-2. Sharp grounder over towards second. The throw to 1 is on the money. And yet again, Release holds Premier scoreless. After a really, really good first inning, nothing has happened for this offense. They've come close on numerous occasions, but this Release defense, stingy as ever. The offense hoping to swing it for the last time today, trying to get some insurance when we return. 10-2 your score. Release on top through 4.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Premier has indeed made the call to the bullpen here in the 5th inning. They will bring on Antonio Escano to try and nail it down. Their offense needs to score at least 1 run in the bottom of the inning to keep this game going. As well, Evan Lucas, after a strong outing, will now move over to first place, replacing Escano. But in the top of the 5th inning, Release up by 8. Just needs 3 more outs in the bottom of the frame to walk out of here with a win in 5 to begin pull play. Again, you look at the way this tournament is set up. Some goes by run differential. This one, it goes by runs allowed. Only allowing 2 to begin. That is huge. Sharp grounder over towards second. The throw to 1 is low, but on the money. A nice pick by Lucas for out number 1 on the throw from Swaboni. And that'll put away Poppy Shock. So 1 up, 1 quickly down, and that'll bring in Braden Harrison, the second baseman. The lefty stepping in for the 4th time today is 0 for 2 with a ground out of strikeouts, but reached once, and that was in his last at-bat with a walk. After him, it goes to Cam Pesh in the on-deck circle. But for Antonio Escano, he wants to make quick work of this order. Odds are you throw him here today, and if he is able to throw again, if you make it to Monday, you throw him there. Or in a do-or-die situation and try and get there in the first place. Say you win your next two and you need a win in Game 4. Escano is going to throw as much as he can. But again, he does have another premier team he does play for that can decide if he pitches or not. And beyond that also has a midweek team in the North Royalton Bears. But to be rostered to 3 teams is quite impressive. He just loves the game and wants to be out there. And it's really impressive to see what he has been able to do over the past couple of years. Really doing what the Escano family name has done for North Royalton over the past couple of years, and that is produce. Of course, Mario does have the upper hand in regards to college baseball pedigree, just making it to the College World Series a few weeks ago in Eastlake. In the end, that one did not go in favor of BW as Denison won it on the final day in an elimination Game 3 of the actual World Series itself. The 1-2 again, Harrison gets a good hold of it and puts it down in center. There's the base hit that he has been waiting for all day, and he gets it done in the 5th. A 1-out base knock for Braden Harrison, his first hit of the summer. And that'll bring back in Cameron Pesh. So far, Pesh, a fly out, a walk, and a strikeout looking. Again, Release just wants to have some cushion because, of course, they know they can win this game even if they have to play the full 7. The caveat, they don't want to use the pitching. This isn't like high school where, hey, you get out of there in 5, great. You play one more game and you're done. No. You play 4 games in pool play to play 2 more in a championship round. You have to have pitchers for 6 different games. It's not as simple as a high school league game is. The 0-1 swing and a miss from Pesh. Going back to what I've said multiple times, the adjustment going from high school ball back to travel baseball, it's not an easy one for that reason. The parameters for coaching are 10 times different. And I'm sure Bryce Fisher can really attest to that tomorrow if we do get the chance to talk to him as his boys look to go and win a title in their first tournament of the year. The 0-2 Pesh gets a good hold of it, sending it into center field, and it is going to be caught by Gannons. Gaddens has had to make 2 plays in the year and has made both quite well, both against Pesh. So 2 down now, and that'll bring in Bobby Berglund. You talk about a player really stepping up to the occasion, potentially fueled by the high school season, it's Berglund. The catcher 3 for 3, 2 RBIs. And he wants to go and make it 4 for 4 to close out the day. Even 3 for 3 with a walk he'll take. For Antonio Escano, once again, just get out of this inning and give the offense a chance to do their thing, including himself, as you have both of your hits to begin the inning, 1 and 2, in the overall 2 and 3 spots. Runner goes here in a really big delay, and they got him. An interesting decision to send Harrison from first on a heavy delay. It's a perfect throw from Kitzberger to get out of the inning. So Berglund will end the day 3 for 3 as things stand. But when we return, Premier looks to send this game into the 6th inning. It is going to be Hanlon, Escano, and Lucas. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Premier Ohio Santoro.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Before we get back to the action, if you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcasts in the Cleveland or Stark County area, contact us at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. As always, thank you to the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center in CrossFit Strongsville for helping to make today's telecast possible, along with the Diamond League. Last chance for Premier, down by 8, needing a run to keep this game going in the bottom of the 5th, 10-2 your score, as you are watching the Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Once again, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning, live from the ballpark at Hudson. And again, a massive shout out to Hudson Baseball for allowing us to use their press box today with the storms coming in. And of course, the heat. It's a lot easier to be up here in the shade, and that has made our viewing experience really enjoyable. So a lot of gratitude over towards them. And on top of that, as a Mount Union student, a lot of gratitude for Ty Dennison coming out of this program, as he has been a great ace for us over the past year and a half. Going back to this game, Release allowed 2 runs early, nothing since. Trey Powers in line for the win. Higgins looking to nail it down here. The 1-1 misses high. For Premier, though, it is going to be Hanlon, Escano, and Lucas 2, 3, and 4 this inning to try and force a 6th inning. Again, pitching. That's the reason you want to end the game in 5. Honestly, for Premier, I don't know if they'd be too upset if they ended the game early. I don't think you get past the 6th anyway. It's 10:45. You have around 15 minutes before you can even start a new inning. So it just depends on how everything breaks down, as there is ball 4 to Hanlon. So the game-saving run now stands at first base, but if Premier takes too much time to even hit here, the game will end because of the 2-hour time limit. You look ahead to the championship, that game will have 2.5, but we saw it last year. We were done in an hour because it was a blowout. I don't think that'll happen again this year. I think there are too many quality teams in this 18U division, and it'll really be a fun battle to see who makes it where. But a lot of that remains yet to be seen. The 1-0 Escano swings and misses. On top of that, it also depends on who can play in what games. We saw that last year where a lot of kids for OEB Rundgren couldn't play because they had their banquets. They ran out of players pretty quickly, and they got destroyed in the 1-4 matchup as the 1 seed. The 1-1 Escano will take for strike 2. Antonio so far today got hit by a pitch and has hit an RBI triple. So not too shabby for Antonio Escano, making his debut for Premier this summer. Of course, playing on that really talented Gambetta roster last year. The 1-2 Escano takes. It'll be Boris and Escano this year, along with Gambetta still in the mix. That'll be a fun group to see in action a few times. Premier, they always have so many really good college commits. You look back to last year, Scott DeMarco Escano. He is that guy this year. The 2-2 hangs high, and we are full. After Escano, it turns to Evan Lucas, who has a base knock as well. So all 3 of the total hits are in the 2, 3, 4 spots today for Premier, which going forward has to be fixed. The payoff to Escano runs in for ball 4, so he will reach for the 3rd time today. And it is back-to-back walks surrendered by Higgins. A prime opportunity now for Premier and for Evan Lucas. Looking back to his time at Normandy this year, batted .432 with 14 RBIs, 10 doubles, and 3 stolen bases. A big reason why they had a 14-12 overall record. Above 500 for the first time in a while. And it's really good to see Normandy getting back in that rhythm. They might be a pseudo-rival of my alma maters in Holy Name, as they are technically in the same district of Parma City, as that is where we get our textbooks, but still. It's good to see them getting back to their best, as they have had a lot of really good historical seasons. And the big reason why you root for Normandy, in my opinion, is because they call home Byers Field for football, and that is one of the best football fields in all of Ohio. So historic, and so many great games have happened there. Them and Valley Forge, it's a beautiful sight for them to play, and formerly Ignatius as well. The 1-1 just misses low. We've seen a lot of the low strikes called today, maybe more than I would have from this vantage point, but I wouldn't say anything out of the ordinary, at least as of yet, which we do have one more game to change that. Of course, as I say, we're going to probably have a change in this game. The 2-1. Again, misses high. One more ball. The bases will be loaded all on walks, and that'll bring up Kitzberger, the catcher. Once more, after Lucas, you don't have a single hit today. The next hit you have is in the 2 spot in Henlon, and he led off the inning. The 3-1, Lucas will swing and foul it off. I don't hate it. I think he has to get aggressive here to try and put this ball in play. He is their best bet right now. I think somebody else can step up. I think somebody else will step up. But right now, you see 2 runners on. You put this ball on the ground, especially over towards the right side. Get it between first and second. Move the runners up. If not, you take the walk here. The payoff pitch. He will do just that, putting it into left field. They will send Henlon home. In the end, they will hold him up, though. At first, they were saying go. They changed their decision just like that. Get aggressive. It worked out. The 4th hit of the day for Premier. Lucas now 2 for 3 with an RBI. And now here comes Kitzberger. Bases loaded, none down. That's the jump this Premier team has to have. This is the 2nd time they have loaded the bases today. They have to do something here. And they might. A good drive from Kitzberger into deep left field. It is caught for out number 1. Henlon will tag. And barring the time limit, we will see the 6th inning. It is a sac fly for Trevor Kitzberger, making it 10-3. A valiant effort from Premier, even if this is going to be the end of the line. This is what you like to see from a team. In their first game, they're not giving up just because the game appears to be over. These are free reps that'll help you in some pivotal games going forward. And now here comes Nick Sloboni, the second baseman. So far today, a walk and a strikeout for him. A weak chop over towards first. They will get the out there and nowhere else. So the 2 lead runners will advance on a productive out from Swaboni. And that'll bring in Griffin John to the right fielder. That was the right call. Nothing crazy. Don't try and split the runners up there. Get the guaranteed out. You're not fighting for the game to be done right here. You're fighting to keep it 10-3. And that is your best move. But Jonda a chance to make it 10-5. And he will take strike 1. Looking at the time, it looks like we will see the 6th inning, and I think we will see that one through, but not the 7th. So Premier has to know that they have to kind of play the game here of score the runs while you have the time, and then go back on defense, settle it down. From there, if it's a 5-run game, try to play it 5, see what happens. Try to take something out of this game. Try to take a point. That's what you're trying to do. Rescue a point here. 1-1. It is going to squeak away from Berglund, and that'll make it 10-4. Premier scores their 2nd run of the inning. It's a positive going forward, and now for Release, you're looking at the scoreboard. You were in a great spot only allowing the 2 runs, now the 4. After some games take place, you might not be in first place with a 1-0 record. You're going to have to go out here and win game 2. And potentially, if you continue allowing these runs, you might have to win out to simply be the 1 seed opposed to a 3-1 with a few less runs allowed getting the job done. That is the weird math part of tournament baseball. You have to make sure you play to the parameters the tournament sets forward. Again, some it's just run differential. You can allow 10 runs, but if you win by 10, great, you're up 10. In this tournament, you'd allow 10, and that will put you in a really deep hole. Full count 3-2 on Griffin Jonda. The payoff pitch, it's high for ball 4. The inning will continue. It's the 3rd walk surrendered of the frame from Luke Higgins. Now Rabin has a chance here. Time as well, 10:53. So Premier getting dangerously close to playing themselves out of this game, but you have to hit while you can. I'm sure Coach Santoro knows the time, keeping a close eye on it to make sure that if he has the chance, he'll take it and go to the next inning and give yourself 3 outs to play with. Right now, your goal is simply clear the bases, bat around. From there, if it's 10-6, you have to go to the 6th inning with 3 outs to play with opposed only 1. You take it. It's a victory. 1-0 count here on Rabins. Runner goes, chop swing, it's gonna be fair, and that is the inning. Collins easily steps on first. A half swing there that could have gotten the job done, But Premier, they get their job done in part. They play too. We continue on to the 6th inning. We go 10-4 your score. It is Release on top of Premier.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Well, one more time, we will see Bobby Berglund bat in game number 1 of our doubleheader. His last at-bat interrupted on and out at second base via the delayed steal. He will lead it off this inning, followed by McKee and D'Angelo. Release up 10-4, trying to add on to their 6-run lead in what will be the final inning of this game, barring record speed. Which I think right now both coaches have agreed that this is going to be the final inning via the time limit. So going forward, Premier has to understand you need to get out of this inning, keep the deficit at 6, and hope your offense has enough in the tank to go out there and put some runs on the board. A strong rip over towards first, but picked up by Lucas. An excellent snag by the former Invader. 1 up, 1 down. That is not an easy play to make over at first base. A ripper down the line. Able to knock it down in the end, and that'll bring in Matt McKee. McKee so far today is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and an RBI double. On top of that, he walked his first time up. Release showing no signs of slowing down offensively. They're bringing the same approach that we have seen from inning 1 to now. That aggressive approach is probably the reason they're going to win this game, if they do. Which again, as of right now, the result shows they will. Now for Release in the bullpen, they will have some action, potentially a closer coming in. I think that is Campeche warming up. If he does come on, that'll be the 3rd pitcher of the day for Release, and I believe somebody else is out there stretching. Of course, you could also factor in they play next. Could it be the next pitcher, Campeche, warming up? And that being for the next game as McKee gets jammed up on the infield, popping it up and popping out to shorts. 2 up, 2 down this inning as that play is made by Hanlon. Of course, Evan Lucas did what he could early, but Antonio Escano has completely shut down this Release offense. If Premier somehow comes back and takes this game away from Release, a lot of it does come down to the play of Escano. But you look at this. This was supposed to be the second game of the day. This is supposed to be the Highland Hornets playing Release. But in the end, they had a bout out of the tournament due to not having enough numbers. But for both teams, and as well for the Midwest Stars, kind of scrambling over the past 12 to 18 hours to figure this one out. With everybody involved, it's impressive. And of course, John Mengelkamp, the commissioner of the Diamond League, doing a great job with the Hornets dropping out, figuring it out, moving game times, figuring everything out. And of course, in the end, somehow in some way also takes the negative of a team dropping out and makes it a positive where there's a better chance that we get all the games in today because of it. The 0-2 is driven into center field, and it is going to drop. A nice little base knock for Leo D'Angelo, his first base hit of the summer. Had an RBI his last time up, and now gets to stand on the bases. Also reached his last time up on the fielder's choice, but that'll continue the 6th inning and bring up Jack Collins, the first baseman. 2 hard 90s and a base knock for him. He has reached all 3 times today. And again, standing at 6'7", a very much imposing figure as he drills this one into left field and down past the left fielder into the corner. That is going to bring in D'Angelo. Collins, he wants 3. He will chug along and stop there. It will be an RBI standing triple for Jack Collins. Make it 11-4 release. Talk about imposing. 2 for 2, 2 hard 90s. And now an RBI to his name as that ball was smoked. It was an excellent effort from the left fielder to try and make that catch. But there's nothing you could do. Collins just got every bit of that barrel. It's impressive, it really is. And now that'll bring in Mason Saravac. The lead now up to 7, again for release. And that'll be their parting gift, so to speak. And for the Midwest Stars watching this one, they'll have to be careful of how they approach this next game. You give this team something to destroy, and they will. Escano's 0-2 is high and wide. As well, we have just reached the 11 o'clock hour. I believe one of the last reports I saw had rain coming in at around 12:15. Hopefully that is not the case. The 1-2, Saravac gets a piece of it and puts it in left field. It's an RBI single for the Bulldog. An excellent poke, taking it the other way with 2 strikes, and that'll make it 12 for release. The 2-strike swings, that has been huge today for release. More than usual. The 2-strike approach has been selfless, it has been team-oriented, and it has gotten the job done on numerous occasions, and there it is again. A lunging swing just gets enough on it to bring it past the shortstop. That's how you hit situationally. Kudos to release on how they have played today. They have been a fun watch, and I'm sure if they continue this, they will be a fun watch again on Monday. Of course, before that, they will be a fun watch against the Midwest Stars as that game is scheduled for around a half an hour after this one goes final, which still is a little ways away. Good swing there, but fouled away. 1-1 the count on Austin Mihalik. Hard 90, walk, strikeout. Everything happening at the plate for the number 9 hitter in game number 1. And again, he wasn't supposed to start, but because the leadoff man is away, he had to step in. That is Alex Soloff, the center fielder, inactive today, along with Cole Twardokis, who was supposed to start at short. We'll see if Twardokis does come for game number 2, as there is a swing and miss from Mihalik. And again, looking at the bullpen, it'll be interesting to see who Release opts to go with to start game 2. Which I think if he's here, Twardokis will probably come in later in relief. Here's the 1-2, and it will miss off the plate. Premier, they will have one game to think about this one before getting back to the action later on today against the Midwest Stars. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it is fouled away, so we will do it again. Once again, a nice little view up here from the Hudson press box. Really big fan of how this one is set up. You do have the room next to us for the TV broadcast out of Hudson when they are here. That's where our kind of camera bay has become, along with our camcorder in the main window here. But a nice setup for a press box off-centered. The 2-2 is high and wide. Or rather, that's the 3-2. And there is the walk. So Mihalik will draw the walk, and we will go back to the top of the order with Popyshuk. A chance for him to potentially do some extra damage for Release. They led by as many as 8. They now lead again by 8. They want to further that lead just a little bit more. This is an absolute, though, dominant start to their season. This is a team that I could easily see scoring 40-plus runs altogether in this tournament. And that might be underselling what they can do. If they score 40 through 5, that's 8 runs a game. And again, I think that undersells what they do. I think if Midwest is to beat them, the benchmark is at least 8 runs. Unless they can keep the game low, which I don't know if it's possible. But again, baseball is a really, really streaky sport. One game you can score 10, the next game you score none. It just depends on what Release can figure out defensively as well, as they might have to play some shorter games going forward if their defense really settles in and the offense does the same thing. Again, the 0-2, it skips in, blocked, but right in front, and there is a double steal, so 2 runners in scoring position now. Nice job there by Kitzberger, keeping it in front again, but that time just couldn't track it. He did the heavy lifting in the end. As a former catcher, it's just kind of difficult to keep track of where that ball goes once it bounces. You think it goes one way, it's not there. You're looking for a needle in a haystack then, at least in your vision. Everybody knows where the ball is except you. The 2-2 again fouled away. Poppy Shock, a great battle here. Trying to keep his at-bat going for as long as he can, as it is now 11:05. Once again, game number 2 scheduled to take place at around 11:30 a.m. Maybe a little bit later now. Again, a low miss. Full count, a great battle from Poppy Shock, and in the on-deck circle, it is Harrison, the second baseman. Escano wants to end the inning here. And here comes his payoff pitch. And there is strike 3 looking. Escano gets out of the inning, getting his first strikeout, and the side is retired. Still 2 runs do come to pass for Release. 12-4 now the score. Premier, this is it. They need 8 runs to tie, 9 to win when we return.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Campesh will come on to try and seal the deal for Release in the bottom of the 6th inning. This past season, Fort Olmsted Falls through 5 innings, had a 2.8 ERA and 1 appearance. But now looks to come on here and get the final 3 outs. Has an 8-run lead in hand, 12-4 your score, as you are watching the Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Once again, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning, live from the ballpark at Hudson. It'll be 9-1-2 due up this frame for Premier, beginning with Kalinowski, followed by Fries and Hanlon at the top. This Premier team did well to plate 2 last inning to extend this game into the 6th inning, but due to the time limit and, of course, the runs right now, it is going to be do or die here for them. And they need an all-time inning to walk out of here with something. The 2-0 will miss for ball 3. For them, you score some runs here, you really put Release in a tough spot in the bracket if they do end up tying with somebody record-wise. The 3-0 is high for ball 4, and the leadoff man is aboard. So once again, the leadoff man has been pivotal today. Counting it for Premier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 times their leadoff man has reached for release. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe a total of 4 times it happened. But still impressive to see how often we have seen the leadoff man reach in this game. Both teams have been great to begin. Release just a little bit better as the innings have gone on, getting 2 individual 5 spots and then the 2 spot in the top of this inning. They have been more consistent and have been more aggressive throughout the entire game. Premier, they scored 2 last inning and 2 back in the first. So if we've seen a run score, it hasn't just been a one-off occasion. We have seen multiple runs scored in every single half inning that has brought us at least 1 run. Of course, that could change here. Premier just plays 1, but they want a lot more than that. Pesh is 0-2. It is low. But good work for him settling in here, getting back-to-back strikes after walking the leadoff man on straight pitches. Now he wants his strikeout, as we really haven't seen the strikeout since Powers. 2 for Higgins, but a lot of walks in there too. Pesh is 1-2. It will connect for strike 3 looking. 1 down. The magic number now 2 for release in game number 1. And Cam Pesh gets the strikeout, and you add in his high school efforts. I believe that is his first strikeout of the year. But this is where he can really get in the lab and figure things out. Summer ball is where you really hone your craft. It's not necessarily like high school ball again, where you're playing a set amount of games. It's, okay, everybody has to pitch. Come out here once a week at least and show why you're in this rotation. The 0-1, Hanlon, again will take a strike. And there is some stretching in the bullpen for release, and that is most likely their game 2 starter. Here's the 0-2. Hanlon will swing and miss. It is back-to-back strikeouts for Pesh. And Antonio Escano is the last line of offense for Premier. As well, stick with us after our final commercial break as we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center for game number 1. And Escano takes strike 1. A lot of good candidates, but one right now on the top of my mind for the impact that he has made from start to finish. The 0-1. It's also there, and Premier is down to their final strike. Cam Pesh looking to put the finishing touches on here. Pesh is 0-2. Escano will take high, so we will see it again. The Midwest Stars as well, they have migrated down the right field line. They are ready to take the field and begin their warm-ups in a few moments. A big game coming up for them against Release. The 1-2 skips in, and the runner will stay home at first. That's the right call. You don't want to end the game at second base. An inning, that's bad enough. The game, a different level. Deuce is on Antonio Escano, and again he takes from 0-2 to full we go. After Antonio, it turns to Evan Lucas, the former pitcher turned first baseman. Runner will be in motion here. The payoff pitch, Escano gets a piece and fouls it off, so we will see it again. This game going just a little bit over 2 hours so far. And it all comes to a heavy stall here. Count remaining full on Antonio Escano. We'll do it again, and there is ball 4. So Escano will take his base, his second walk of the day, and he has reached all 4 times he has stepped in. On paper, he's 1 for 1 with an RBI triple. Beyond that, a pair of walks and a hit by pitch. But that'll put 2 on for Lucas. So far today, Evan Lucas 2 for 3 with an RBI ground out his first time up. That was back in the first inning as it ended up driving in Antonio Escano. The sun just continues to come and go off to our left. And we'll see if that continues as this game goes on. And the day goes on for that matter. But the humidity from the rain last night, definitely no joke. Count out 1-1 here on Lucas. Pesh looking to end it here. That time will miss low. But what a game to start off Summer Ball 26 on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. As things stand, a combined 16 runs. The offense, it has been here in full effect today. Count 2-1 on Lucas. And again, it is in the zone. Count even. One of the best high school hitters on this roster. A chance for him to do it one more time in game number 1. Here's the 2-2. It is high. And for the second straight at bat, we will have a full count. If Lucas keeps the game going, we would see Trevor Kitzberger the starting catcher. Runners in theory should be in motion here for Premier. Full count, 3-2. The payoff pitch, it is fouled off towards the left side. So once again, we will do it again. A lot of anticlimactic payoff pitches. The first one is really never the true payoff. It just is fouled away or something else happens, so we always have to do it one more time. So this one, no exception. Count remains 3-2. And Pesh will step off the rubber for a second. Wants to make sure he brings his best pitch here. And why not? It's to end the game. The payoff pitch. Chopper over towards short. This should do it. The throw to one is on the money. And Release will get their first win of the summer, taking down Premier 12-4 to improve to 1-0 as well in tournament play. When we return, we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center as you are watching the Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Release Dolcemaschio gets his first win as a Release skipper, taking down Premier 12-4 to begin the 2026 Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament. As we toss things back upstairs, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. What a way to begin the summer of 2026. 16 combined runs, a whole host of extra base hits. 2 gentlemen as well with RBI triples. Antonio Escano, he had a single RBI triple. However, your player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center had a 2 RBI triple, that being Bobby Berglund, 3 for 4 on the day, a pair of singles, and a 2 RBI triple. He looks stellar today behind the plate and offensively for this Release team. If Release Dolcemaschio's group is to go far in this Diamond League tournament, a lot of it has to come from the bat of their cleanup hitter in the 4 spots. But that'll do it for us in game number 1. Time to click on over to game link number 2. As up next, it'll be Release Baseball sticking with us and the Midwest Stars swapping in for Premier Ohio. But this is Nathan Smee saying so long for now from the ballpark at Hudson. 12-4 your final in game number 1. Release gets the win in convincing fashion over Premier as you have been watching the Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel.